What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Camper Report. The 49ers play in 30 minutes, and we're going to talk about Giants versus 49ers keys. The reason why I'm kind of doing this right now is because I haven't really been giving you guys a ton of Niners content. I will do a live show on Saturday breaking down the Niners game, or tomorrow, Friday or Saturday, breaking down the Niners game. So Niners content is coming. Don't worry about that. But today we're going to talk about, let's get into it because I need to get this video out before the Niners game actually starts, before it gets old. How the Niners are going to attack the Giants, how they're going to play this game. So, key number one is letting Daniel Jones throw the ball. Now, let me explain to you what I think the Niners. Daniel Jones is not an elite passer, right? He's not. We all know that. He's I think with his legs, the mobile ability that he can tuck the ball and run makes him a better passer than what he makes him look like a better quarterback than what he is. But as a pure passer, Daniel Jones really isn't that great, right? So, what I think the 49ers tend to do a wide nine system, right? Where the defensive tackles line up not in the over the center and the guard. They line up more over the defensive ends will line up like outside of the tackles, and then the defensive tackles will line up like almost on, I think it's called, the B gap. So they're lining up all of the wide nine is basically where all of the defensive linemen are lining up just wider. It helps rushing the quarterback. It helps them get to the quarterback and sack the quarterback on pass plays. I think instead of doing the wide nine, I think the Niners are going to do the 4-3, basically where the defensive ends and defensive tackles line up more condensed into the middle, closer to the center on the offensive line. And so I think the Niners are going to attack it that way. What 4-3 does is 4-3 typically tends to limit the quarterback to just throwing in the pocket. It doesn't get pressure, but it also doesn't allow the quarterback to scramble out of the pocket and run. I think you have to let Daniel Jones make those throws because we all know he's not an elite decision maker. He's not an elite passer. So eventually he's going to throw an interception. The way that Daniel Jones will kill us in this game is if he runs all over us. That's the only way the Giants even have a shot at winning, because the Giants have so many injuries right now, and there's really no way that the Giants win. But this is the only way, is if we let Daniel Jones run all over us. By playing the 4-3, I don't think that's possible. So look for the Niners to play more of a condensed formation along the front seven. Let's go to key number 2. I've got 3 keys. Let's go to key number 2. Brock doesn't need to make big plays. What I'm meaning by that is Deonte Banks, the Giants' number 1 cornerback, they drafted in the first round of last year. I think it was the 25th pick. It's not good. They're not good. They're secondary. The Giants' secondary is one of the worst in the league. To give you a perspective, the Giants' number 1 cornerback, Deonte Banks, through 2 games has been targeted 8 times and has allowed 4 targets. So 50%. But the thing that stands out to me is he's allowing 12.3 yards per reception. So my thing with that is, what it looks like is the Giants are playing more zone defense. Because if you're only allowing 12.3 yards per reception, you're probably not allowing big plays. Deontay Banks isn't allowing huge plays at the corner position. So if you're Deonte Banks, if you're the Giants playing this game, they're most likely going to play the 49ers in zone coverage, right? Because they don't want to give up big plays. And from what it looks like, he's only giving up 12 yards per catch. It looks like teams are attacking him in the short game, which most likely, to me, if teams are attacking you with slants and in the short game, that means that you are playing off-zone coverage. So let's assume that the Giants play off-zone coverage with Deonte Banks. Brock Purdy doesn't, like, a main kind of grievance that we have towards Brock Purdy is he can't throw downfield. And that's a problem, but it's not going to be a problem in this game. Brock Purdy, if I believe that the Giants will play soft zone, if the Giants do play a zone coverage, Brock Purdy, all he has to do is sit back and just deliver the short throws, the throws that he's good at. So this kind of plays into the strength of Brock Purdy. He doesn't need to make big plays. He doesn't need to make big downfield throws. Just let the defense handle it, and you'll be good. Now, let's get to our injuries for the night. Brandon Aiyuk, I believe, is not playing. It said he's expected not to play, which is completely fine. I think the Niners can easily beat them without Brandon Aiyuk. For the Giants, this is where the Niners have a massive, massive advantage. The Giants are missing their starting left tackle, Andrew Thomas, and their starting center. So that already doesn't bode well because the Niners, obviously, as we know, has an amazing pass rush. And that's why if you go into the 4-3 system, we're going to be able to get pressure on Daniel Jones at the same time as containing him. We're going to be able to get pressure up the middle with Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead because the Giants are now missing their starting center. So my thing with that is we're going to be able to get pressure fast and early and get him rattled fast and early. Another thing, the Giants are missing Azeez Ojulari, their number one defensive end. And how is that going to affect the 49ers? Well, the right tackle position, Colton McKivitz, won't be under as much stress. So that's another thing. So those are kind of some key injuries there to look at during the game. It should be a fun game. My final score prediction is Niners. I don't think this is going to be as much of a blowout as we all think it is going to be. I think it's going to be definitely not close, but I think it's still going to be Niners 27. I think we score like 20 in the first half and just let off the gas. I think it's going to be Niners 27-10. I don't see the Giants getting over 14 points. If the Steelers couldn't do it, the Giants definitely can't do it. And the big injury that we're not even talking about is Saquon Barkley, who's also ruled out for a few games. So the Giants don't have their starting defensive end, two of their starting offensive linemen, their starting running back. It's just the Giants are dealing with a ton of injuries right now that really will not help them in this game. And hey, Saquon Barkley, love to see you play, get healthy soon, but good thing that he's not playing in this game because that would have definitely made the Niners' job a lot harder. So, guys, have a good rest of your night, and hopefully you see this in time before the game. So we'll see you guys again soon.